Hey guys, today is Book Review Friday. I have been talking about how now every Friday I want to do book reviews and I'm trying to keep with that. So if you are new to my channel and you're wondering what's this video today, I have been doing book reviews for the past couple of Fridays now. And if that's not your thing, that's not a problem. I will be posting other kinds of videos, but I do have a bunch of viewers and subscribers and friends who love this series. So I'm super excited to share with you my book review on this book called Joining. I do post on my Instagram account after my book review on Friday, I pick my next book tomorrow. So on a Saturday or Sunday, I pick my next book and then I immediately take a photo of that and share it on my Instagram account in case you want to read along with me. And so I am excited about this book. This is the second time I'm doing a book review on this specific author, Joanna Lindsey. She is my favorite. She is my favorite historical romance author of all time, although to be fair, I really haven't tried anyone else out. And that is another reason why I absolutely love this series, because it feels like we have this book club together. We all have so much in common, and I read all of your comments on my book reviews and the authors that you're suggesting for me. So I am going to be going to the library very soon and heading towards those authors. But I want to say that if there's a specific book I should start with on these authors, please comment down below and let me know which book you feel should be my first impression of your favorite author, and I will read it and then do book reviews on those as well. Now, I'm not just doing book reviews on historical romance. I have done one kind of on a fantasy future, but it's in the teen category. I love those books. I mean, they're written so well, and I don't know why they're just for teens, because they're amazing. So, absolutely love this book. I cannot wait to get started, but a couple things that I want to say. So, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. In my mind, I want to make it short because I do have bronchitis, and so I'm going to be coughing and stopping the video and having to edit it out, all that stuff that you don't care about. And in my last Dollar Tree haul video, which I just uploaded, I think it was yesterday, I talked about my bronchitis, and that's why I really wasn't on camera. But I couldn't do a book review and not be on camera, so all of this makeup and all of this is for you guys, or else I would look half dead right now. So with that said, before I get started on my book review, I just kind of want to talk about a couple of things. One, if it looks like I've been crying, it's because I have been. I just watched the series finale of Golden Girls and didn't expect that. And I was bawling my eyes out. Yeah. So yeah. Second, I want to tell you guys that if you love Hallmark as much as I do, and I know I talked about Hallmark a lot during Christmas time because they have the best Christmas movies. And I'm not a spokesperson for Hallmark, although I wish. But let me tell you, there's one movie that I have been waiting all month for, and it comes on tomorrow, January 23rd. It's the 23rd. Is the 23rd Saturday or Sunday? I don't know, but it's the 23rd, and I have a feeling yes, tomorrow, the 23rd, sorry. It's called Unleashing Mr. Darcy, and it looks like basically a rendition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and their names are the same, he says the same lines, but it looks like it's Hallmark's twist on the movie. So I'm just I cannot even wait. I feel like I've been waiting an eternity for this movie. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this book review. It's called Joining by Joanna Lindsey. First things first, let's talk about the year that it's set in. This one is set in England in 1214. 1214. So a long time ago. I will say that this is my favorite Joanna Lindsey novel ever. Which is hard to say because she has a Mallory series, and those are drool worthy. But for some reason, this book was my favorite, and I think it's because it was the first one I ever read, and so it was just a lasting impression. But I absolutely loved it. But before we get into the book, This is a cover art that I can actually show you, and the one before I couldn't show you because it was a little too risque. And with that said, you should be watching this video with your parents' permission, you know, if you're young, because this is a book review, it's an adult book review, and you probably don't want to watch this anyway because it's gonna be boring, and this is, you know, for my ladies. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you the cover art, and prepare yourself, okay? I mean, what is he, like Count Dracula? I'm not sure I quite understand. I'm not sure I understand the cape. I mean, is he Dracula? Is he a genie in a bottle? Like, I don't get it. He is not the man that I envisioned in this book whatsoever. Ironically, though, she describes him to be like this. She describes the hair, the muscles, all that stuff. But honestly, in my head, I totally envision something completely different. And so the cover art really is not of importance to me. And her outfit, I don't know, but Count Dracula over here is really distracting, and he is not what I find to be attractive, but everyone has their own taste. But it is fun that they include like a little cover art, and yeah, let's move on from that. One of the first things I will say that Joanna Lindsey does a very great job of writing, of her use of words and the way she describes characters in the era that it's set. So this one is a little bit difficult to read because she uses words that they would have used back in 1214. And because this is set so long ago in 1214, you can definitely tell because the vocabulary is not something that we're used to, accustomed to. It's very formal and different than anything. I mean, nobody would talk like this at all whatsoever, right? So it's just a little bit difficult to read because we're just used to seeing certain words that our mind, you know, our eyes connect with and our mind picks it up like that, and we can just read really quickly. But sometimes you have to read a little bit slower to read through the sentences because they're words that you wouldn't expect to normally read on a daily basis. So I will say that it's just a little bit, tiny bit difficult to read through, but other than that, I mean, it's just written beautifully. The other thing that she does with her characters is she does give them names that you would expect in that certain era, which I love. But she also gives like a little bit of a twist. And her name, the main character for the female, her name is Millicent Crispin. And she is betrothed to Wulfric. And I love his name. I think his name is awesome. I absolutely love it. Wulfric Daythorpe, whatever. And basically what happens is she has been betrothed to him since birth because their fathers are best friends. One saved the other. And so as a gift for being saved, he offers his daughter to the son. Well, their very first encounter when she was a little girl, because the boy's a lot older than she is. So when she was a little girl, she did not have a very good first impression of him whatsoever and hated him. And he hates her, and they just loathe one another in unison. And he basically, eventually, he like puts off marrying her, and finally he's like, all right, I gotta go collect my bride. And so he goes to get her from her house, all to find out that she's a twin, which makes it really, really interesting. So when they meet again, when he goes to collect her, they have another horrible encounter, which does not help things any. And then eventually he has to, for a specific reason, take her from her home to his home for safety, because in the meantime, someone is trying to kill her. Someone is trying to prevent both of them from being married because their families are both so incredibly powerful. They're incredibly rich, and this man wants to prevent them from marrying because he wants Wulfric to marry his daughter. So he goes to the king who's a horrible king. The way that she describes this king in here, he goes to the king and says, you know, you really don't want them to get married because when they combine their families together, they're going to be more powerful than you. So the king's like, and he agrees to allow this man to carry Millicent. Or to kill Millicent, because he's like, okay, we'll get rid of Millicent and you can marry my daughter. So in the meantime, someone's trying to kill Millicent, and the whole time, all Wulfric does is try to protect her. And it like chills for me because I love it. All he does the whole time is save her from one incident after another. And yes, I mean, it's not a secret. There's no twist and turns like any other novel. So they do end up together and fall in love. I talked about this in one of my previous book reviews, that it's not like a secret with romance novels, but the story of it, the way that she weaves the tale, and it's just amazing. And what I love about the male character, because in all of Joanna Lindsey's novels, each character is different, and that's like, I know that sounds silly because you're like, duh, but every character has a great story, and Wulfric is one of my favorites. I love the type of man that he is. He's the type of man that, like, I would be attracted to, you know, unless he looked like Count Dracula, and then I'd be like, sorry about your luck. But he gets jealous, and he seems like a strong man. He seems like a very loving man. And I just love the way that she's written Wulfric so much. And Millicent is a tomboy. The other twin is very ladylike and very proper, while Millicent is like, I'm gonna wear breeches, which was like a no-no back then, which was basically pants, and women just did not wear pants. I mean, that actually carried on well into like the 1900s. Women didn't start wearing pants till like, I don't even know, 40s, 50s? And even then, you didn't even wear jeans. Like, jeans was like a no-no. So I don't even know when jeans was introduced into society, but I digress. The point is, she is a tomboy, and she does all of this stuff to, like, piss him off. And in the meantime, he's, like, mad, but he's jealous, and someone is just trying to kill her. And it's fantastic. I would highly recommend this book. Now, because this is a historical romance novel, and if some of you have already read Joanna Lindsey, then you're not going to be surprised, and, you know, but for those of you who don't like romance scenes, this may not be for you. Now, Joanna Lindsey, depending on the characters and the character's love story, sometimes there's multiple romance scenes and sometimes there's one. In this case, there's only one. But I loved it. It wasn't my favorite romance scene that she's ever written of all of her books, but I did like it, and I do love the way she writes. I can totally envision everything. Of all her words, I can envision everything, and I absolutely adore Joanna Lindsey, and honestly, I just wish I could be friends with her. So I want to introduce something new into my book reviews, which is telling you guys which was my favorite scene in the whole book. Now, that's a tough one, because every time Wulfric comes in to the picture, which is not enough in my opinion. I mean, he's the whole main character. He's in the book the whole time, but like I literally could have more. Like write a part 2. My favorite scene in this whole book is the very beginning, where he has traveled to her castle, to her father's castle, and before they head out to his castle, actually this is the reason why they head out to his castle, because she can be better protected there. They go on like a hunt, and somebody is attempting to kill Millicent for the second time and shoots an arrow at her, and the way that he just takes her off her horse and protects her and takes her back to the castle, and then his behavior when she's like being patched up by her sister, I Love it. It's my favorite scene in the whole entire book. Okay, so that is my book review for The Joining. I know it's a lot shorter than the others, but really it's such a good book that I don't want to give everything away. I love everything about this book, and I hope you guys do too. Again, like I said, the vocabulary is a little bit different than what we're used to, so it be a little bit slower to read through, but other than that, she really does, for the majority of the part, I'm going to say like 98% of the time, she uses words, obviously, that we can understand, and she puts sentences together, you know, in a way that we can understand and envision, which I really love. So you do not have to go buy this book. If you have a local library, just go to your library, and my library has this author, but before you make the trip, I always like to investigate. I'll just go on my library website and see if they even have this in stock. So I absolutely love this book, and I'm so glad that I got to share this with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this book review, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!